sneak over and grab some soda ash, and we're going to start some low immersion dyeing right away. Record an intro in a moment. So I have 1 cup of soda ash water going straight in the bottom of this container. I've chosen 4 colors. This is low immersion dyeing, and it's actually quite simple. And I'm simply going to stack these very carefully, and today I think we're going to work from dark to light to medium. I'm starting with cheap violet. And we just squirt some in. And this is going to be a little bit challenging because my fabric is bigger than expected and nearly fills the container completely. So I have 2 60-inch yards of linen, and I have 2 sets of these, so I am probably doing 2 of these. Right now I am pulling it out of the soda ash that has been soaked in for about a half hour to an hour. It needs 20 minutes. And just squeezing some of it out. One of the beauties of low immersion dye is you can go straight from soda ash into dye. And normally I wouldn't dye with this, but it's a little chilly today. So we're going to shove some of this in. Now we've shoved some in, and I want to talk about color placement. I've got cheap violet, raspberry, new emerald green, and lilac. These all span the rainbow technically because there's yellow in the emerald green, and there's turquoise and fuchsia in the raspberry and the violet and the lilac. So we're going to get all the pinks and purples on the bottom. With low immersion dyeing, I can get away with some of this. I forgot something a little bit important, but this is a big enough container. I'm going to steal another cup of soda ash and pause. I forgot to bring out the water to fill this container, and you can see it just going right in here. Since I've got my lilac in, I'm going to shove in a little more of this. And actually what I think I'm going to do is just keep going a bit. I'm going to put some raspberry in. And the soda ash, you don't have to add much more than 2 to 3 cups in this. I'm going to do it because I have it right here. Normally, actually I'm going to finish it off on top. So the raspberry is going in. And then this is going in. And if it doesn't fill it, which here I've got to be a little careful, but the emerald green is going right on top. And I would normally fill my spots in with the water. Just plain warm water for dyeing. I'm going to wipe off my gloves a little. I do have some water, not quite warm. It's not as clean as I'd like either, so I am going to pause this, run inside, get some warm water, and record a finish in a moment. Where's my bottle? And welcome back. I'm just going to do a quick voiceover. This is the wet reveal, and I'm seeing the cheap violet and some raspberry greens. You can't see everything. There's some things that are like obvious now that just will not be obvious when these pop out. I'm going to pause this for a second, switch up with the other one. Mainly, I want you to see the differences. This one I think was less scrunched in the batch. Excuse the mess. And I'll be honest, I won't do a lot of wet reveals. This, I just want to show you the difference between wet and dry, because it is important to note. So we're going to go over this real slowly. I'm going to speak a little louder due to traffic. I've got a lot of splotch of pink. I can work with that with sewing with projects and with cutting things, so I'm not going to stress it over. I'll admit that's one of my hardest parts to wash out. Now I'm going to go wash this and dry it in hot water with Synthropol and get it dried officially, and we'll see what we get. See you in a bit. Hello, here's the beauty of doing this on camera. Here's the dry reveal of the linen fabric. Now, this was cheap violet, raspberry, new emerald green. These colors came out more muted than I expected. And I'm trying to go slow on this. I apologize if it is too fast. I will back up a little and show you all of this. This is only about 2/3 of the fabric overall. I do like the streaks, and I think they're going to make some fascinating patterns. Oops, let's not turn that too much. I'm going to go around to the other side and show you the green on the back side. Excuse the geese, they have something to say. Apparently they like it. Now on this side is more of the green that I was showing you before. And I'm not seeing as much variation as I'd hoped. Excuse the truck. So I had hoped, alright, come back here. I had hoped for a little more variation. I'd hoped to see more blues in this, but I still think it's made a lovely thing. And this is one beauty of low immersion dye. And I don't know if this is because this is beige linen that I started with, or if this is because this is linen. So, I have a plan, and with the next dye set, I have 2 linen scraps. Now we've got a car coming through, maybe home. Excuse, I didn't iron this, I did not press. I will do that before I sew it. These are really neat though, and I'm going to have to set you down and turn this over for a moment. Excuse the recycle bin. But this is some of the beauty, and I'm going to pick this up a little. I've realized I don't have a good reveal spot for this. Excuse the deck, have a good study for a moment. And I'm just flipping this over so we can see that there's variation on both sides. And this one is the more variegated one that I showed you. And hopefully you will see that there are a lot of differences. There's more variation showing through now than there was before I rinsed it out. I do have some really bright pops of green, and I like that actually. And think this will make a fascinating outfit to go walking in. Maybe like a linen slacks and a jacket. Or if I go really nuts, I might be able to make an entire jacket out of this. I do like it. I love it. Wish I had a better place to reveal it. I do want to pull this over here. And I'm going to set you down and let you look at the sky this time. Give me a second. And I'm just going to open this up and lean it over the side of the porch as well. Just so I can go back and get a, excuse the fabric. Get a more overall view of it for you, because that has its own beauty. And then I will start the next video where I do a sweater in a container, and I will talk about that too, because in your containers you want a 1/2 inch screw top is best. You want a what do I call it? Let's see how much of this I can get in the frame. There you go. It's getting to be full. My plants are giving up. You want a screw top lid that's about a 1/2 inch. You want a snug fitting container. And if you agitate the container a lot, you will cause it to be more solid colors. This one was likely the one that was put in the tall cylindrical container, and the other one, the green all over and the purple all over with small streaks, was likely put in the lower rectangle container, the shallow blue one. So those are considerations for when you, this one was likely in the shallow blue one. It was moved a little more, it had less of a screw top, and part of it was the way I layered the dye colors in. So that is half the fun, and I will close this one off and get the next one started and show you what else we can do with these colors, and hope we get a little more blue in there, but not too much, because I do like how these turned out. Thank you.